Hello everyone. In the previous class, we have discussed about the basic idea related to the light. So that you have already learned in the lower classes, like definition of light, refraction of light, the two laws related to the refraction of light, and lateral shift, and also apparent and the real depth. Now we will discuss about the next important phenomena related to the light, which we call total internal reflection. Now here let us try to understand the total internal reflection. So how it occurs and what are the conditions for this total internal reflection to occur. The first condition for the total internal reflection to occur is the light must travel from denser medium to rarer medium. So here I have considered two medium. So this blue part is the denser medium and outside it there is a rarer medium. Now I have to consider a source of light which is in the denser medium. So here I have considered this red point as a source of light. So from this source of light, the ray of light will be incident in this interface. So interface here means the line separating the rare medium and the denser medium. So if this is a ray which is incident at the interface, then in order to draw the refracted ray, so we must draw the normal. And as we already know that the ray of light which travels from denser medium to rarer medium will bend away from the normal. So we will get this as a refracted ray. And this is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction. So which is denoted by I and R. Now during this refraction, a very small part of light will be reflected back to the same medium. Most of the light will be refracted, or a small amount of light will be reflected back. So that is represented by this arrow. Now let us see what happens if we increase this angle of incidence. Normally, if we increase this angle of incidence, then angle of refraction also increase. Now, if we increase the angle of incidence, then angle of refraction also increase. Then for a certain value of angle of incidence, this refracted ray will be parallel to this interface. So here, I have considered the second case where the angle of incidence is such a way that the refracted ray is parallel to the interface. That means the refraction angle here is 90 degree. If the refraction angle is 90 degree, then the value for angle of incidence we call it critical angle. So which is denoted by IC. Now what happens if we increase the angle of incidence beyond this critical angle? So here we consider the third case where the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. So I greater than IC. Then what we can see here is the ray of light which is incident at the interface will be totally internally reflected back to the same medium. So this phenomena we call it total internal reflection. So here we will not see refraction but it is reflection. So this is the totally reflected ray. So this is the refracted ray, this is reflected ray. So here we have seen refraction in the first case, but in the third case we will see reflection. The first condition I have already told you, the light must travel from denser medium to rare medium. And the second condition here we can see from this diagram is the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. So here also I have written light traveling from denser to rare medium and IC represents the critical angle. Now we can define total internal reflection as the phenomena in which a ray of light going from an optically denser medium to an optically rare medium at an angle of incidence greater than the critical angle for a given pair of media is totally internally reflected back to the same medium. And similarly, we define the critical angle as the angle of incidence in optical denser medium for which the angle of refraction is 90 degree. So this I have already explained you, and also I have told you the two conditions for total internal reflection. The first condition is light must propagate from optically denser medium to optically rare medium, and the second is the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. Now, there exists a relationship between the refractive index of the two medium and the critical angle, so which is very important for the numerical. So here is the relation between the refractive index and the critical angle. So they are related by this formula n21, so which is the refractive index of the rare medium with respect to the denser medium equals to sine IC. IC is the critical angle. So this can also be written as refractive index of the rare medium divided by the refractive index of the denser medium. Now let us discuss about the total internal reflection in nature and its technological applications. The first is sparkling of diamond. So as we already know that the diamonds sparkle. So let us know the reason now. Diamonds are known for their spectacular brilliance. Their brilliance is mainly due to the total internal reflection of light inside them. The critical angle for the diamond is very small, around 24.4 degree. So this diamond is caught in such a way that once the light enters inside the diamond, that light will suffer multiple total internal reflections and will remain inside the diamond for a very long time. So that light finds very hard time to come out of this diamond. So as the light enters the diamond and will be trapped inside the diamond, so due to that reason, the diamond will sparkle because light is there inside the diamond which is trapped. So because of this total internal reflection of light inside the diamond, this diamond will sparkle. Now we consider the second nature of phenomena which occurs just because of total internal reflection, and the name of the phenomena is mirage. So here we consider a tree and this is the ground, and here at this point we consider a boy. So this boy is looking at the tree. The ray of light from the top of the tree, when the temperature is normal, it will travel a straight path and will enter the eye of this boy. But what happens if the temperature is very high? So like we consider this in the desert. So during the daytime in the desert, the surface of the earth will be heated by the sun. And as we already know that the surface of the earth is covered by the atmosphere. So there are layers of atmosphere, and the air which is very near to this ground will get heated up. Then the air which is just above the ground, as it gets heated up, it will expand and rise up. So due to that reason, the density of air on the surface of the ground will be lower than the density of air above the surface. So due to this variation in density, there will be a relative increase in refractive index of the medium. So here is the air medium. The refractive index of the air medium near the ground will be low, and it will increase as we move upward. Then the ray of light which is coming from the top of the tree will not follow the straight path but will be totally internally reflected in this fashion, just like a U shape, and will enter the eye of this boy. And if we draw this as a straight path, then it will look like this ray is coming from the somewhere which is on the ground. So he will assume that this is the shadow of the tree, but actually it is not. So it creates an optical illusion to this boy. So he thinks that there is some water because there is an image. So as the image will be reflected on the surface of the water. So although there is no water, but due to the refraction of light, he thinks that as the image of the tree is here on the ground, there is some water on the ground. So which we call the optical illusion. The formation of mirage can be written in the following ways. So in the desert area, during the hot day, the layer of the air above the ground gets heated up and becomes lighter. So the density of the air near the ground is less than the air above it. Then a ray of light coming from the distant object, like the top of the tree, gets totally internally reflected and bent like U-shaped. When this light enters the eye of the distant observer, so distant observer in our previous diagram is that boy, so it appears that the light is coming from the somewhere below the ground. The observer sees that the inverted image of the tall object, so which is the tree, and assumes that the light is being reflected from, say, a pool of water near the tree. So he assumes that there is a pool of water near the tree, so that he is seeing the inverted image of the tree. This causes an optical illusion to the observer, and this phenomena we call it mirage. So this is the explanation of mirage. Now let us discuss about the third important application of total internal reflection of light. In this third application, we will discuss how to bend the light by 90 degree or by 180 degree. So for that we use the help of a prism. The prism should be right angle isosceles prism. So right angle isosceles prism means one angle will be 90 degree and the remaining two angles will be equal. And that prism should be made up of crown or flint glass. For crown glass, refractive index is 1.5 and the critical angle will be 42 degree. Now let us see how we can bend by 90 degree or 180 degree. Now at first let us discuss how to bend the ray of light by 90 degree. So here is 90 degree and the remaining two angles are equal 45 degree each. Then in front of this prism we consider an object. So this AB is an object. From the top of this object and the bottom we consider two rays which is incident to the prism. And here we draw a normal, and this is the angle of incidence which is 45 degree. Here also the angle of incidence will be 45 degree because these two rays are parallel. Then this ray will undergo total internal reflection and then will not get refracted but will get reflected. So in this direction the ray will be reflected. So the angle between the incoming ray and outgoing ray is 90 degree. So here we have bent the ray of light by 90 degree. Now let us see how we can bend the ray of light by 180 degree. So for this also we require right angle isosceles triangle, but it will be oriented in different position. So in this way, and here in front of it we consider a object AB, and from the top and the bottom we consider two parallel ray incident at the prism. So here also the angle of incident will be 45 degree and it will be totally internally reflected, and again it will be incident here also. So here too these two rays will suffer total internal reflection, and this will be the outcoming rays from the prism. Then the ray has been inverted and it has been bent by 180 degree. So in this way we can bend the ray of light by 180 degree. So in our previous case, the light suffers only once total internal reflection, but in this case, here there is a total internal reflection, and here also. So total internal reflection, the light suffers here is twice. Now here we discuss a very important concept related to the total internal reflection. And in this case, we are going to predict which color of light suffers refraction and which undergo total internal reflection after passing through the prism. So altogether there are 4 different colors given. So this color represents the light. So this red light, blue light, green light and yellow light. And it is given that the prism is right angled isosceles prism. And these rays of light will be incident normally on the first surface, this surface. Also in the question it will be given that the refractive index for the different color of light. So this value may vary. So here the refractive index for red is 1.39 and similarly for yellow is 1.41, for green it is 1.44 and for blue it is 1.47. Then the first thing that we have to do is we need to find the angle of incidence. For that we draw a normal and here it will be 45 degree. And for rest of the color also, since the incoming rays are parallel, the angle of incidence at this surface will be 45 degree only. So that I can write angle of incidence equals to 45 degree. Then we already know that the condition for total internal reflection to occur is refractive index must be greater than 1 by sin I. So this I value we replace from here, which is 45 degree. So sin 45 degree, we know that the value is 1 by root 2. Then this will get modified as n greater than root 2. So this root 2 value is 1.414. So if the refractive index of the different color is greater than 1.414, then it will suffer total internal reflection. Otherwise, it will undergo refraction. Now we compare here the refractive index for the different color and this value. So only the refractive index for green and blue is greater than 1.414. Refractive index for red and yellow is less than 1.414. So this green and the blue color will suffer total internal reflection and it will travel in this way. Since this red color and yellow color, the refractive index is less than 1.414, so it will not suffer total internal reflection. It will undergo refraction and it will travel in this path. So out of 4 color or the 4 light, only blue and green will suffer total internal reflection and yellow and red, it will undergo refraction. Now let us discuss about the 4th application of total internal reflection, which is used in optical fibers. Most of us we have already seen the optical fiber, so which looks like this. So this small fiber, so it is used to transmit the signal from one end to another. So these optical fibers are extensively used for transmitting audio and video signals through long distances. So this is the structure of optical fiber. So this inner blue part we call it core, and outside there is a extra layer called cladding. And the core, it is made up of either glass or quartz fiber having refractive index about 1.5, and this cladding, the covering, is made up of materials having refractive index slightly less than that of the core. So this cladding will have the refractive index less than 1.5. This dashed line represents the center of the optical fiber. From this left end, the signal which is to be transmitted will be incident at an angle greater than the critical angle. Then what happens is that once it enters the core, so it will suffer a multiple total internal reflection. So in this way it suffers a total internal reflection, and will come out of the right end at certain angle. So here the signal which is entering the optical fiber will suffer multiple total internal reflection. So here is the first total internal reflection, here the second, third, fourth, and similarly it goes on and will come out of the other end of the optical fiber. So in this way we transmit the signal from one end of optical fiber to the other end.